Shweta, can you briefly explain different healing services and spiritual practices that you are certified in?
Namaskaram, Angel. Thank you for having me on board. Namaskaram to all the viewers out there. Spirituality has been my core, my karma, my everything. I have been professionally doing this for last 5 years, but this got to me about 10 years ago. But I was just using it for myself because healing was something I needed the most around that time frame. And now, as I'm working through it, I feel like every second person in the household needs some sort of healing. So for me, healing is all about, first I started as Reiki healing. So when we say Reiki, Reiki itself is made up of two words. Rei means universal and Ki means universal energy on it. So therefore, what we're doing on Reiki energy is universe is giving us some sort of energy and we're using that energy to heal people. So basically, we have 7 main chakras in our body: crown chakra right here, and root chakra on your Muladhara on the base of your spinal cord. This is on the Muladhara. This is where you hold all your fears. On your crown chakras are all your point where you focus on your brain work, your thought processes. You also get your downloads here. So this is very important, and every other chakras are important. So basically, my healing goes first from Reiki. On Reiki, we do not need to touch people. That's why you do not need to physically be there. So even you are out there elsewhere and you're connecting to me video, because this was said by Albert Einstein himself. Energy can be transformed and transferred. So that's why we can pass these energies to you no matter where you are. So you can be at your home space and I can pass these energies to you without touching you. So I scan your body, I see which chakra needs work, and then I use certain symbols from hands that passes the Reiki energy to you. The Reiki was started in Japan, and this is now widely used all over the world. Then I also use chant, because what you have to understand is when you're chanting certain affirmations and mantra, it does certain things to you. So that's why sound, and we are the object of sound and light. So that's why sound has profound energy upon you. So I definitely use singing bowls, sound crystal balls. I also use crystal itself to heal, and I use a lot of affirmations as well. So these are the kind of healing techniques that I use, but my services are not limited to healing. I also do tarot card reading, which is based on future predictions. I also do manifestations. I do counseling. I do hypnotherapy. I do a lot of things. I've also been quite affiliated with conscious parenting as well. So yes, in nutshell, anything that involves spirituality, working with moons, doing your spells, and banishing negative energies. There are a lot of other things that I do, but nutshell, this is it, my love.
Shweta, what inspired you to have a professional career in healing services and spiritual practices? Can you share your background? When did you start it?
Yes, my love. So basically, as I was touching down about that previously, around 2012, 2013, I had fibromyalgia. I think I had fibromyalgia from my childhood, but in childhood, because I was back home, I was always taken care of. I had parents, they were taking care of bills and everything else. I could just be the pampered kid around, so I didn't feel it. But I came here in Australia in 2006, late of 2006, so long, long time ago. But I think for all the trauma that started from 2006, because as overseas student, what we all have to do, we all know that, right? So I think that started to build up on me and really got to me around the year 2010. I had such body pains. I could not get up from bed. If I went to doctor, they would say like, look, nothing is wrong with you. You're probably, look, fibromyalgia is just like your nerve is passing pain signals to your body. So it's not really there, but I can feel the pain. The pain is 10 on 10. And they're saying like, you can just take painkillers and you have to do painkillers every 2 hours. And I'm like, I don't want to be dependent on painkillers all my life. Like, it will have so many side effects on them. Then I started looking into holistic health. And then I got into about spirituality. And then all the spiritual gurus were saying, you can talk to your body. Your body has intelligence. You can heal your body. And wow, that's a new dialogue I'm hearing, because everywhere I go, everybody's saying rely on medication. But somebody else is telling me you can heal your body. You can be a healer. So I said, okay, I'm going to give it a go, because if I want a new output, I've got to put in a new input. So I've already tried those past things and that didn't work. And I don't want to go down this track. So I'll go this track. So then I started to get into healing and everything like that. And surprisingly, when I started to do healing upon myself, the pain started to reduce significantly. It wouldn't last throughout the day, but that particular moment, if I did healing for half an hour or 1 hour, I had no pain in my body. And I've never experienced no pain in me. And I'm like, is it me? I'm thinking because I don't have pain. That's why I don't have pain. Or it's really the pain is gone away from my body. And then when I was doing healing over and over every single day, because once you taste it, it's so beautiful. You want to go back and keep doing it to yourself. So I kept doing it to myself, and every time the result was significant. And I feel like everything you do in life, practice makes everything perfect. So when I was doing more of it, I was able to even last without pain, even after the healing session. Another 2 hours, another 3 hours. So I knew that, wow, I am in touch with something magical, and the world needs to know, because it's so selfish for you to know something and not pass it down to others. And this is what inspired me to be like, look, you can heal yourself. I'm going to do this to you and you'll be able to. And every angels that I have connected to on this journey, I've taught them ways to self heal. Okay, now you know how healing works. This is your homework. I want you to do self healing. So I've also encouraged them to work upon themselves. Like, you are your biggest project, work upon you. I'm here for guidance, but you don't have to have me forever. So this is basically what I started to do on a nutshell. So it started from me because I had the pain and I wanted to work for me. So it was never about anybody else, but because it worked so magically upon me, I wanted to transform it to the world. And this is my only goal. I want every other soul out there in universe to be so healed, so stress free, like they're going to in the traffic and they're stuck for 1 hour and they have no worries. They're not saying, oh shit, I'm a dead cow. I'm going to be late at work. I don't know what this car is doing. Like, you're stressing about anything to everything in life. And I just want everybody to feel so relaxed, so chilled, so happy. Because when you're stressed, your body produces a different kind of hormones. When you're chilled, your body produces a different hormones like dopamine or oxytocin, serotonin. These are all feel good hormones and they do different things to your body. Your whole cellular system starts to regenerate, your whole nervous system starts to program in a different way, because this is software. And this is what regulates your body. Your mind is your master, your body is your follower. So if you give those commands to your mind, you can definitely do miracles with your body. So this is it, my love.
I know there are lots and lots of successful stories through you from around the world. Can you remember one story instantly and share with us, please? Successful stories of a client.
Yes, my love. With God's blessing, every day I go through so much of reviews. But I had had an angel who was having very hard time with her PT examination, because she had to give PT to get her PR or for nursing enrollment. I forget. But anyway, she had tried in a couple of times, and the requirement was she needed 65 each on every brand, and it wasn't happening for her. So she's gone, she's changed the examination hall, she's prepared more, she's taken online classes, she's done everything that's possible to make it happen, yet she's not able to do it. So she connected to me and I said to her, look, I promise you, you're going to get the desired score, but you have to follow everything I say. So you're not going to question me, you're not going to doubt this journey, because if you're building a home, your foundation needs to be strong. If your foundation is strong, you can add stories to your home. If your foundation is not strong, tomorrow the home is going to collapse. So I want you to get in with full confidence. And nobody told you to come to me. You've come to me. Nobody said, okay, go to Shweta. You found me and you have some sort of faith that this is going to work for me. I want you to have that faith, because you have surrendered your life for faith and for fear, and everything is coming 50-50 in your life. So you have already been on the 50-50 spectrum of your life. Now I want you to be on the 100% spectrum. Because where there is faith, there cannot be fear. Fear and faith are too extreme, they are not like brothers, sisters, husband, wife. They don't mingle each other. They're extreme extremes. So that's why I said to her, okay, I want you to give me faith. And that's only for 21 days. If you can extend it, do it for 3 months. And after 3 months, this will be part of your programming. You'll have faith forever. She's like, I am ready to do anything and everything. Just let me get that score. I'm like, good, we're both on the same track. Then I did healing with her. The first time when I did healing with her, she was crying. She had like trance like experience and everything like that. She said, I've never felt this way. I don't know what it was. I was feeling like I was floating in the clouds and everything like that. I'm like, okay, great. you've experienced what the healing needs to do to you. I want you to do self-healing as well. And meanwhile, I'm going to teach you a couple of manifestation techniques. So after the healing session in 2 days time frame, we connected again, and I taught her a couple of manifestation techniques, which are not only the techniques that you do while you manifest, but these are techniques that you adopt into your life. It is your life transforming technique, like how you wake up, how you sleep, all of those things. And everything that I teach involves and revolves life in Australia or developed countries, because we're not back home where we'll have a lot of time. We'll have to go to work. We might have to look after the kids. We might have to do the bills. So we don't have all this time in the world. So whatever you're going to do, it has to fit in according to your busy schedule. So I taught her everything that she can still do in her busy schedule, but this is a must. You don't expect a classwork without you doing the homework. So she did all of that. And guess what? I told her, okay, now you're ready to book your PT examination. So I told her, do not book any PT examination for next 1 month. I will at least need 1 month from you. And she's like, Diju, I don't have time. I'm saying, you have time. It's okay. You know, all this time you've done it again and again. Just give yourself 1 month time and say, I'm going to sit on this for one. And she did. And then after 1 month, she got the score. She made it happen, my love. So this was really nice. And not only her, there's been so many angels who have scored the desired score in PT. They've got, let's say, negative skill assessment, and the skill assessment has worked for them. They've heard from the guy who never answered their phone for 8 years or so. You know, so success stories floating every single day on every aspect of life. This works.
Sweta, yeah, Sweta, I migrated from Nepal and I know the real struggles of PT, and I want to share my story because it really triggered me. I migrated to Australia in 2018. I had to give PT around 2020 for my visa purpose or something. I don't remember. At the time, I didn't get marks. And after in the second attempt, I got a marks and I was so confident, for getting each band 7 is so easy for me. I was so confident and I studied master in accounting, and I had to get each band 7 again to get my visa around 2022, I guess. And I was so confident. I got it back then. I got 6.5, like just studying for 3-4 days. And for each band 7, if I study for a week or 2 weeks, I was in that concept. But my husband suggested me to get the PT class, and I was, why should I spend money? And I confidently gave my exam, and it didn't happen. And again, I had to give my exam. It didn't happen. At the time where I had to upload my visa, the time was expired, and I was so frustrated. I moved from Sydney to Queanbeyan, which is based just near to Canberra, just for my visa purpose, and my PT was not happening. I was so frustrated, and I had a baby who was 2 years old, and there was a COVID, there was restriction. I was in a bridging visa, and I was so frustrated, and I just needed to go home. And it was not happening because the government rule was those people who were on the bridging visa were not allowed to go back to their home country. I was just watching at the sky every day for 1 month, and I was just, let me go to my home country. I'm so tired of staying here. I didn't know what the manifestation, what the universal talk was. And I was just saying, suddenly, just after 15 days of my prayer, the government announced the rule that bridging visa holder can go back to their home country. I just booked my ticket. I went back to my home country and I left my daughter there because of various reason. And I came back after 10 days here, and I was like completely frustrated. I didn't have hope to attend the PT exam again. And I took a break of 2 weeks. I had a walk. There were various things. Being a migrant, there are various things. And like while I was staying in my home country, Nepal, my sister gave me a book. I don't remember the book name exactly, but it was about the manifestation, success, universe talk. And I read that book for whole 2 weeks because I didn't have courage to go to the PT class and everything. And I read that book, and there was steps to do manifestation and everything. And I took a class for at least 3 weeks, but I was scared because I know that PT triggers a lot, and I have been triggered a lot. I have cried a lot, I can't imagine myself while scoring the PT marks. And I was studying hard according to the instructor guidance, but I was a bit scared on my side. But that book helped me to help my subconscious or conscious mind, whatever. And I studied, and the day before my exam, I booked my exam right in the full moon time, because it was written, whatever you manifested during the full moon time, it will happen. And I booked my exam just on the date of the full moon. And right before the day of PT, I was so scared because my problem was always the mic problem. My voice wouldn't be recorded, and my speaking will be just 4. I could get just 5 band on speaking because of the mic problem, and I don't know why. And I was like, will the Mac problem will repeat it again? I was like that. I just went to the instructor and he said me, don't worry, tomorrow is your exam. Just wear a nice, whatever dress is your favorite. Just do a makeup and just spend 2 hours on the makeup. And I was like, okay. And I came home. I cried. It was around 7 o'clock in the evening. I cried, and there was a big, super full moon. And I just looked at the full moon, and I was talking with the full moon. I don't know what talk, but I was talking a lot. And I was crying and crying and crying. And next day around 7 o'clock was my PT exam. And I just went to my exam and something happened and I was just a little bit late and I wanted to be on the first to go in the room, but I was on the last and I was a little bit nervous. And I went inside and I sat and I was so conscious of checking my mic and I had faith like manifested and everything. And I just talked and I took some minutes and someone came, the instructor came and said, can you please start? And I was like again nervous and I started. And again the instructor came and can you speak slowly? And I was in my mind, I speak like this in my PT class and why here? And I little bit only slower my voice and started. And but there were lots of things happening in my mind, but that manifestation hold my heart and I just controlled my mind and attempted my exam 2 hours. And I came outside, I called the instructor of my PT class instructor and I told that I'm not going to get it. I was crying, crying, crying with him. And he was like, don't worry, we'll do it again. I told, I think I won't get marks in speaking. And the full moon, like it happens for 5, 6 days. And I was just praying with the moon. And I don't know, before when I used to give the PT exam, the result was you can write on the same day or on the next day. But that time the results took 5 to 6 days. And I was like, what's happening? Like, and after 6 days, I was so worried. I was just praying and praying and praying. But amazing happened. Like I got his band 8 and I was like, wow.
Well
You know,
done.
yeah, this completely triggered me.
Yes. Wow. Thank you for sharing on board. So, see the power of full moon, the power of manifestations, the power of reprogramming your mind. All these things play such a vital role to make things happen for you. So, that's why when people say, like, look, my life is destined, whatever is going to come is going to come, whatever is not going to come is not. I'm just like, no, that is just your myth, or that is just a little information, and little information is always dangerous. So when people start to do things differently, they start to dig deeper, they will definitely get results. And that's why manifestation inspires people, because somebody teach you the guidelines, somebody says, okay, bow down to full moon, okay, you start to become more positive, blah blah blah, start to wake up, bow down to sun, because sun is connected with your inner fire, moon is connected with your psychic abilities, if we go down into spiritual terms. So when you start to have a connection with sun and moon, what can go wrong? And then the vastu 5 elements, our body has vastu 5 elements. At the home, we hear about, oh, your home vastu is good, your home vastu is bad. Everything is these 5 elements. So when you start to work with these 5 elements, they start to work with you. Not only these 5 elements, everything in universe, because living thing and non-living thing, everything is made up of atoms. Where there is atoms, there is energy. So what happens is, once you start to work with them, they start to work with you. Miracles open to those who put into miracles. So it's a two-way process, because the very way of life teaches you a rhythm. It's inhalation, exhalation. It's a transaction that is happening. So it's a give and take. So when you start to give them, they start to give you back. So there's a give and take. There is a transaction happening. All this time, you were so in your own bubble, in your own problem, in your own life, that you don't even look at the glass of water you drink, for example. You're thinking 10 things and drinking that water, but then water is Ganga Ma. She's blessing. The 70% of your body is water. It's science. So if I look at that water, I start to talk to that water, I start to bow down, you'll start to see so many things happening just like that for you. So exactly. So this is manifestation in nutshell. This is manifestation is making you like you did that manifestation. You started to connect to cosmic energy and Akashic Shakti just out like that, with the full moons even, and you're getting the downloads, you're getting the energy, you're getting the blessings, because these spirit guides or your higher self or your God or your divine, whatever you name it, they're ready to help you 24/7. They're right there. But you gotta call them, you gotta summon them, you've gotta do your part. It's like, if you put down into example, this is what my guru said. Shweta, your spirit guides, your higher self, everything is like your taxi drivers or your Uber drivers. They can take you from point A to point B. They're ready for service. But you've got to download the app. You've got to call them. So you got to do your part. Same thing. Your spirit guides are ready to take you from point A to point B. You're stuck at A. They're happy to take you to B. But call them, summon them. You do your part, you know? And wow, everything you says, it just gives me goosebumps because it just makes sense. Yeah. Like, yes, all this time I've been in my nutshell. I've been so stuck with my problems and why me and why not and why this and why that, you know? But the moment I decide to like pause and be conscious and start to connect, not only I feel calm, not only I feel something is happening, but it actually even happens. It actually even shows in the results, you know? So, wow, thank you so much for sharing this story.
Sweta, what advice do you want to give to those people who are very curious in exploring spiritual practices and healing services, but they are unsure like from where to begin?
The first thing is just start. Like, why wait? You know, anything you want to do, if you have an inner calling, you should go for it. And now we are, I would say, like when we were in Sakti Yuga, we were all about young mantra, you know, so it was all chanting, doing yagna, all of that. Then we moved into tantra, which is all about white magic, black magic techniques, this, that. And this is yantra. So this is all about devices. Yantra means all devices. So we are facilitated with smartphones in our hand. We can use these smartphones to start to listen to spiritual podcasts, start to listen audio books. You know, there's so many audio video books out there. Start to read success stories of people. So it depends upon you. Whatever time you have. If you say I don't have time, but you're still looking at people's TikTok and commenting on, oh, he brought the house, but why can't I buy the house? And I'm comparing my life. And that is a red flag already. See, you got to use your time wisely. If you want to go into spirituality, just go. That half an hour, that 10 minutes, that 15 minutes, the pocket that you have, use it to find better. And then first find who your guru is. Whom do you connect to? Like, not everybody will connect to everybody.
Wow, Sweta, like it's really inspiring and I want to listen you again and again, you know. We have come to an end and thanks for attending the NEXWEB podcast and spreading the positive vibes. I hope the people who are watching us will have a positive vibes on them. Thank you, Sweta, for attending the NEXWEB podcast.